Service say.
Outside the mic. Outside the mic. Outside the mic. Outside the mic.
What's up, outsiders?
Welcome to Outside the Mic.
I'm Jarrett Weimer.
I'm Martin Meyer.
This is a podcast where we banter all matters music.
Mostly we do. What do we do other than that?
Sometimes we speculate.
We speculate.
Often we do not articulate very well.
Funny, I was thinking of that word.
Articulate?
Yeah, just as you said it, I was thinking of it.
Yeah. Speculate, articulate, they go hand in hand.
What's another one like that? Or yeah, I guess
Demonstrate.
Demonstrate.
We speculate and
Penetrate.
articulate and sometimes even demonstrate with accents and impersonations of our favorite peeps.
What about wait, I've got it wrong. It's masticulate, I think.
Excuse me?
I think chewing. Excuse me. I might have that wrong. I'm going to have to look that one up. Then
more
we'll come
time,
back to it. I'm totally, completely wrong. But you know what? We did that pretty well. That's probably the smoothest without just goofing off.
Yeah.
We've done that beginning.
Without like 10 takes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Outsiders, we're moving up in the world. We've had a great season 3. We still are in season 3, I should say. We've had a lot of great success with this season, tried some new things out. We're thinking outside the box even, not just the mic.
Wow. I think we might change the name to Outside the Box. That'd be kind of boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the slogan wouldn't be as good.
No.
We banter all matters boxes. We banter all matters cardboard.
Yeah. I kind of like it.
No, I can't. You're on your own on this one.
Okay, check this out.
Yeah.
Masticate.
Why?
To masticate
No, I don't want to know.
is it's when you chew your food. You masticate your food. That's all I'm saying.
That's even worse, man.
Jarrett, why do you have to go there?
I didn't go there. Webster is toying with us.
No.
Yes.
No.
Prove me wrong.
Chew food.
What's the next word in the dictionary that comes after that, huh?
Masticate.
Yeah, whatever.
That's the
girl.
one I was when I said masticulate, which was way wrong. That's the word I was trying to think of. And man, so did we mention that we're not doing this early in the morning? We didn't mention that yet, did we?
We have not. So typically, we are up 6 a.m. doing our episodes.
Yeah.
Today, however,
Yeah.
the way life transpired, we are doing it 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m.
Yeah, and it feels like it's like midnight or something.
It does,
really
but we're
weird.
gonna make it through, and we're gonna use the last bit of our energy to make this a happy-go-lucky episode
Instead of a episode.
instead of a buzz episode.
Let's hope it's not going to be that. Remember that, folks, when we used to use the buzz?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a mini one. We're just going to kind of float on through because we wouldn't want to leave you outsiders hanging. And I don't know what happened exactly.
We've got a lot of.
Things just
How do I
went
want to put it?
haywire.
We've got a lot of episode ideas. We've got a lot of things that we're storyboarding
In the
but
works,
Just
yeah.
nothing that was quite ready for today. So we just kicked on the mics, and here we are.
Here we are. And already we're like 10 minutes into it
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. Not quite. But hey, what do you got? You got a little of that yesterday in today's history?
You were close, but not, my friend. On this day in music history,
Oh, that's it. Okay.
we're looking at May 10th, 1969. Frank Sinatra's version of My Way made the British top 10 for the first time. Over the next 3 years, it re-entered the top 50 singles chart on 8 different occasions. Paul Anka, am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Rewrote the original French song for Sinatra after he told Anka he was quitting the music business. Anka changed the melodic structure and lyrics to the song with Sinatra in mind. Wow, I did not know that. Did you know that?
I did it my way.
I'll do Elvis. I did it my way. I squeaked a little. Did you hear me squeak? That was almost good, but then I squeaked.
That wasn't bad. You were starting to channel Elvis
I was.
for a little bit. That's a funny song. Not funny.
When I was a man, then I was a boy. They took my dog. I walked away.
Oh, you're singing this song still.
Yeah,
I thought you went into some other
It's the
thing or
verse that
something.
never made the cut.
Oh, that was it. I think I read about that. Do you know I actually sang that for a funeral?
I know that you did that.
Do you know that? Isn't
and
that crazy? It seems like, I don't know, does that seem like a good...
I think what we're...
Would you have that at your funeral?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Look at this thing.
Did you get...
No,
Folks,
got it.
Marty's sitting here. He's just, I don't know. He's a fidgeter. He's either got to be eating something. I look over and I couldn't figure out why Marty wasn't kind of helping me carry the conversation along. And
I'm good.
What happened? He got his finger stuck in a slide, a glass slide.
That sounds wrong. It's a little guitar slide. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, this is interesting. And it got stuck on my finger. Okay, I feel really,
We need to stick with the early mornings.
really feel important right now. Thank you for articulating and not masticating.
You were
What
doing
I was
enough of
just
that
doing.
over there.
Thank
for
you
both of
very
us.
much. That's good. No, so go on with today and yesterday's history.
Oh my gosh. This day in music history, the next one we've got, which I'm not familiar with this band, but Marty, I'm sure you're going to educate me. May 10th, 1969 as well, the Turtles gave a special performance at the White House as guests of Tricia Nixon. Stories circulate concerning members of the group allegedly snorted cocaine on Abraham Lincoln's desk.
Wow.
I like them already, and I don't even know.
That's wild. I cannot enlighten you very much about the Turtles.
You can't.
No, in fact, but I do want to look up to see. I'm sure if I hear one of the songs, I will recognize it. But
Turtle.
no, why did I do that?
Why do you sound
That
so
was
optimistic? Turtle.
Turtle. Let's see what the Turtles did, and you can go on. But that's pretty interesting. They snorted cocaine on Abraham Lincoln's desk. I thought they were going to say on his nose, like on the statue or something.
That's a pretty big statue to be doing that on.
Yeah, they were. Wow. I mean, that's pretty hippie of them to do that.
That's
right?
pretty hippie of them in 1969.
No kidding.
All right, moving on.
Oh, you know, here's the song.
What?
So happy together.
Oh, they were hippies. Okay.
Ba, 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 ba,
Yes,
ba,
yes.
ba, ba. Okay,
Right.
there you go.
Exactly.
All
Okay.
right, so there you go.
May 10th, 1970, a year later, David Bowie was awarded an Ivor Novello Award for the best original song, Space Oddity.
I like the way you suddenly just develop these weird little dialects. The best original song.
Are you making fun of my Midwestern accent?
No, I'm actually complimenting it. Really,
Oh,
I think it's cool.
thank you.
The best original song. No,
How else is it? Original? Original song? It's original.
original. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I'm just maybe noticing how to talk for the
You're
first
just,
time in my
yeah,
life.
you're just
There we go.
listening for the first time is what
There
it
we
is.
go. Okay. So what was the
Okay.
name of that song again, though?
Space Oddity.
Okay.
He won the Ivor
Bass
Novello
solo,
Award for
the
the...
cut through award.
We are not doing good today.
I accidentally, while I was looking something up.
Should we
I
start
accident-
over?
No, I think this is good. I think the outsiders need to see what it's like when
Sometimes it's really hard,
we're
you guys.
somewhat ill prepared and it's not an early morning where we're feeling fresh.
Yeah.
Been a long day.
You're going to get more banter than you are anything else today. And that's fine. All right. Let's do a couple more. May 10th, 1985. All-girl group, the Go-Go's, announced they were breaking up
Oh, in 85?
in 85.
The Go-Go's?
The Go-Go's.
They weren't together very long then,
You're
were
very
they?
shocked about this. They
I
weren't?
am. I thought they were like, because that was Belinda Carlisle. Carlisle.
You're right. Let me go on. You just take the back seat, bud.
Folks, I swear, the interesting thing about this though is it's not like we've been sitting here like slamming beers or something.
We showed
we're
up
just
and turned
exhausted.
the mics on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're so out of our zone. But
Yeah.
it's fine. We're going to be great. It's going to be great.
This is gonna be the hottest episode ever.
Yeah.
Most popular.
It's going to be great.
Okay.
So,
Belinda Carlisle.
The Go-Go's, they're
Yeah.
breaking up, 1985, May 10th. The members went on to enjoy solo success.
Oh, yeah.
You're right, Belinda Carlisle and Jane Wiedlin.
Wiedlin?
Wiedlin. And the group reformed in the late 90s. Well, there's a happy ending there.
Well, it is. So who was, you probably won't know the answer to this, but I might have to look it up. There was another girl group, and there was a very, she was somebody that guys were just gaga over, and it was Susanna Hoffs. Do you remember her?
No.
Okay, so
I like how I assumed that you knew who the Turtles were, but you assumed that, of course, I would not know. I'm just saying there's something to be...
Well, because I knew it was before your time. A little bit. Okay, have you heard of the Bangles?
No.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Okay, yes, I have. See, that's the problem with a lot of these old songs. I know the songs more than I know the artists or the bands.
You do. So take a look. Do you recognize her, Susanna Hoffs?
No.
She had this thing that she would do. And this is interesting. Maybe this somehow ties into anything we talk about today. I have no idea how it will. But she had this thing where she was very much aware of her power in video.
Okay.
With the Bangles, because she would do this thing where she'd look at the camera and then she'd close her eyes, and when she'd open her eyes, they would be focused somewhere else. It was kind of this mysterious little thing that she would do.
She knew what she was doing.
She knew what she was doing.
She was being cute.
Very cute, and she's still alive, I'm assuming. Yep, she was born in 1959. That's good. I always got to check that.
You're doing a lot of assuming today.
You'll have to check out Walk Like an Egyptian.
No, I know Walk Like an Egyptian.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I didn't. That wasn't very good. Let's do one more, and then we'll move on. May 10th, 1986, Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee married TV star Heather Locklear in a courtyard in Santa Barbara, California, with 500 guests. Oh, boy. Tommy wore a white leather tuxedo. Ooh.
I remember... What year was that again?
That was 1986.
Okay, I was in California. I had only been there like a year. Hadn't started going to music school. But I so remember because she was the rage. Heather Locklear at the time.
I recall. I don't recall. I wasn't alive.
Well,
then,
of course.
I do think I somehow knew that from a TV show or something.
From a past life experience.
Past life, yeah. I was Tommy Lee in the white leather.
Tommy Lee and Heather Locklear, yes, indeed. I wonder how long that relationship and marriage lasted. What do you think?
Let's make an assumption.
I'm going to guess that it lasted maybe a couple years.
I'd say 3.
Okay, we're probably both wrong because I bet it was less than that. So you go on because I'm gonna have to look it up and it might take a little bit. So
okay, well I'll do one more. That was gonna be the last. I'll do one more.
Okay.
I like this one. May 10th, 1999, American singer, songwriter, poet, cartoonist, screenwriter, and author of children's book Shel Silverstein.
Oh yeah,
died of a heart attack, aged 57.
Why is that today in music history?
Because he wrote A Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash.
I did not know that.
Which Silverstein won a Grammy for in 1970. And many songs for Dr. Hook, including Sylvia's Mother and the cover of the Rolling Stone.
You're kidding me.
No, this is good. I'm glad I went further down.
This is good. Yeah, I'm glad you did too. Wow, we have read. Have you ever heard of the book? I hope I'm not wrong. The Giving Tree.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I've read it, but I'm familiar. I believe that he wrote that. And there was another book of poetry that we used to read to our kids, and it was Shel. And I had no idea that he wrote lyrics to songs. The Boy Named Sue. Now that is A Boy Named Sue, I should say. That is a great song.
It is.
Classic Johnny Cash.
It's kind of a weird song, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the whole point was, so the dad, before he left the mother and the son, named the son Sue. And so later, as Johnny would tell it, he would meet him and basically be like, why did you name me this? And he was like, son, I wanted you to go through this world. I wanted you to be tough. And the only way I knew you for sure you were going to be tough, I'm doing a bad job.
Is this Johnny Cash?
This would be, yeah. It's not a very good Johnny Cash impression. Son? Yeah.
The only way.
Hello, I'm Sue.
Yeah, I'm not.
But the only way he knew he would be tough is by naming him Sue, because he knew he'd be made fun of and stuff.
That sounds like a mean rationalization for a father to make. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, very good.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, son, I just want you to be tough. So your name is Veronica. I don't know.
A song like that would never make it out of the door in
Boy
today's
named
world. but
Veronica. We were both wrong, and I feel really bad.
Are they still married?
Well, no. That would then I would feel bad, but they made it 8 years.
8
Yeah,
years.
look at that.
What do they say? It's after 12. That's when you know you're going to be all right. Is that how I know? Is that what I know?
No,
I don't know that.
that's the song, the country song, the 7-year itch. I think after you get, tell me you're trying to cure the 7-year itch. Haven't you heard of that?
No. I'm surprised you know a country song.
I know some country songs.
Oh, good.
The 7-year itch was written by Shel Silverstein.
Yeah, in his book of
The
poetry.
Giving Tree. He did write The Giving Tree, by the way. I
very
was
good.
correct.
I'm familiar with the book. I don't think I've read it.
Sometimes I'm correct. Sometimes I'm not.
So that's what I got.
All
on this day of
right.
music. Those are the best ones, and I had to pick through the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, of course.
Thank you. And I'm actually really feeling like I wanted to engage with that whole Shel Silverstein thing. Silverstein. Is he alive? I wonder. Why do I always have to know if these people are alive? I just think it's important.
We're moving up because typically you want to just know about how the heck they died,
Yeah.
and now you're wanting to make sure they're still alive.
He is not with us anymore. Shel died in 1999, and he was only 69.
Wow.
Gosh, he was a hip-looking dude. Did
Was
you know
he?
that?
Let me get a
Yeah,
pho-
check
let
it
me
out.
see.
Looks like he should be in like a James Bond movie or something.
Holy crap! Yeah, he looks like the bad guy.
You could be the bad guy in a Bond movie, but he has a friendly look though too.
Yeah.
Sort of
You can't judge a book by the cover.
malevolent.
You can't judge a man by his beard.
You can't. Malevolent is that? No idea if that's even a word too.
Malevolent
Masticated
is
but-
right because there's the character Maleficent. I'm thinking of the wrong word. Okay.
You see it now. I'm
Malevolent.
Wow. I hope you have something while I look that up because now I'm dying to know because I can't believe that's pretty sad that I would say a word that I'm not certain how to even spell for that matter.
You're
But
very confident.
well, we'll get there. Did I make that word up?
Malevolent.
Yeah.
You're asking
this
the guy
time
who
of day,
doesn't know words, who also makes words up, and then oftentimes you correct me. I'm rubbing off on you. This is good.
Well, at least, generally, it's having or showing a wish to do evil to others.
Ooh, you knew what you were
Thank
talking
you.
about.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let's see if we get a girl or boy.
Malevolent.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Google.
cut her
Did I interrupted you?
Malevolent.
Malevolent.
Very nice.
Having or showing a wish to do evil. See, you feel malevolent towards me sometimes while we're doing that. When you want to punch me in the throat.
Ah.
Not today.
and
I'm
we're back
sorry.
to
That
that.
was so loud. No, we're not. We're not. I'll
So-
just let that go on.
I believe you mentioned you had some.
As opposed to benevolent.
You mentioned you have some corrections
I do have
from
some
the last
corrections.
episode, which would be Sons of Distortion.
Because I'm feeling kind of
Benevolent.
right now. I would like to to redeem myself because that's meaning well-meaning and kindly, and I am. I'm feeling
Malevolent is
benevolent.
benevolent. You're throwing way too many words at me today.
We've got malevolent.
If it was 6 a.m.,
And benevolent.
yeah, I'd have a chance, but we're not.
I think what I did was in the last episode was absolutely malevolent, and now I need to be benevolent and correct this. No, we had actually gotten together, and I thought we skimmed over the research pretty good. Put it that way. But I think I got a little mixed up on my notes. And not that it's extremely important, but I had to watch that whole video again because I'm so fascinated just by the whole rise of distortion and the use of distorted guitar in music. And it made me really want to look into it even more. And then I realized that, okay, I had given Junior Bernard credit for being the one that stuffed newspaper into his amp, I think.
And Junior Bernard, he was the one with Bill. He was one of the Texas Playboys.
the Texas
right?
Playboys,
Bill,
yes.
what was his name?
Oh my gosh, why are you asking
Wills?
me that? Why
Willis?
am I blanking out? Bob Wills.
Bob, not Bill.
Yeah.
Bob Wills.
Bob
Okay,
Wills
sorry.
and the Texas Playboys.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so Junior actually was he was one of the first ones to just drive, as we said, I believe, we covered the fact that when you have a tube, if you overdrive it,
yes.
it produced distortion. So there was a little bit of distortion that just came with overdriving your tube. So that's what Junior was doing.
Okay.
Gory, after that, was one of the first. He did the song Rock a While. We talked about that. This was in 1951. Him and Howlin' Wolf. Howlin' Wolf had How Many More Years was the name of his song. And that was even pushing it a little bit harder. So then another kind of mistake I made. Here's where we come to the guy who actually stuffed newspapers into his amp. In 1951, Jackie Brentson released Rocket 88, and we had said some people consider that the first real rock and roll song.
Right.
Willie Kazart was his guitar player when they were on the road. He busted his amp. It was like cracked. He shoved a bunch of newspapers in there because I guess the speaker was loose or something. Oh, and so it's probably a combination of the amp being broken and the newspapers. So Willie, I'm sorry, brother. You are the one that stuffed newspapers in your amp and not Junior. But we love them both. Junior, get it, as Bob Wills would say.
And then he would take a lead, right?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting.
What did he call him? Fat boy or something?
Fat boy, yeah.
That's
He
right.
said, fat boy, get it, fat boy. And he would just go crazy. But you have these guitar players on the one side, and then you've got your studio engineers and producers on the other. Because then that was Sam Phillips who was producing it. And he's like, sometimes it takes a weird ear to hear. He's like, that sounds really cool. And he really, really pushed it hard after that, even though somebody else might have said, your amp's busted. We got to find a different amp and a different guitar. So
I really feel like that's what makes the best producer, best engineer, is somebody who's always listening to the odd things and wanting to expand off of that.
Yeah.
You could have easily been like, oh no, that sounds like it's broken. Don't do that.
yeah, let's fix it.
We would not
or
have
whatever.
had this. But because he was like, hey, hold on, that's kind of unique. Let's mess with that. I think that's cool. And sometimes I think that's what makes a lot of these hit songs is the accidents that happen.
Yeah, that was clearly how that whole thing revolutionized rock and roll, was through accidents, as we said, and then intentional ones. And Dave Davies in "Girl, You Really Got Me Going," "Girl, You Really Got Me Now."
Yeah.
I think that was
Made
that
famous
was the one
by
for him.
Van Halen, right?
Yeah, later on. Right. But he actually used a razor blade, and I think we talked about that. But if you ever want to hear sabotaged distortion, because we didn't play a clip, but listen to Dave Davies on "Girl, You Really Got Me Going," because you can really hear it on that guitar.
Can you?
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Cool.
All right,
Well, should we dive into it?
let's.
Today, well, not today, but this week's been a little sad. We lost I wouldn't say significant, but definitely a cool chick from the 80s and before. I'll explain how I know her, and we'll go on from there. Tawny Kitaen. Unfortunately, we lost her this week. She died at the age of 59.
So, actress model though, right? She wasn't a musician, or did she sing?
Right.
as
No.
well?
Well, no. So her big thing, I guess we'll get right into it. She's most famous for her appearance in the 1987 song "Here I Go Again," Whitesnake. That video. Do you remember that?
Oh yes, yeah.
That video for me is a significant part of my childhood. So let me lay the picture for you.
All right.
It were early 2000s. All I had was in my room, I remember. And in my room I had shag carpet, and I had this old boom box that the radio didn't really play really well, but it played cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
And next to that, I had a Nintendo 64. I only had one game, Mario 64.
Okay.
Are you familiar? Mario?
Kind of.
Best Mario game out there, but that's for another episode. The next thing I had that I remember just being so proud that I had was the Whitesnake "Here I Go Again" cassette tape.
Okay.
And I remember, so MTV was pretty hot early 2000s. And I remember watching the music video as a young boy, and of course being fascinated by the pretty girl dancing around on the Jaguar and everything.
Tanya.
But that
Tawny,
right?
Yeah, Tawny,
and
okay.
But that video for me was so much more, and I think I have to accredit a lot of why I started playing guitar, because I was probably 8 or 9 when I first saw that video.
Yeah.
I have to credit a lot of it to that video, because that video is rock and roll, baby. It is total.
Oh yeah.
In that video, it starts off. It's got, what's that guy's name? Dave
David Coverdale.
David Coverdale
Yeah.
singing. The lights, they're on the stage. And then, of course, pans in Tawny dancing on the Jaguar. And then pans again back to the stage. And the guitar player and that song and the lead. I don't know. For me, it just did it. And that is really my, I guess, your early young boy, your exposure to pretty girls, dancing models, rock and roll, lights, all that.
Yeah.
I thought, I want to be just like those guys, you know? So I have to say, like, I think I credit a lot of that too. I also give Johnny Cash credit as well, but this video for me was...
Well, make up your mind. It's either Johnny Cash or Tawny Kitaen. Which
I
one?
had two tapes growing up. Yeah. It was the Here I Go Again, Whitesnake, and then, no, I'm sorry, I had 3. And then I had the soundtrack to Free Willy. And then I had Steve Earle's Copperhead Road.
You're kidding.
Those 3 is what made me the man that I am today.
But did you not have a CD player?
No, I mean, not at a young age then. I really didn't, because that was kind of, at least for us, for me, it was kind of like, I remember getting my first Walkman, and I was a little older than that, with a CD. But you had to be really careful because they weren't really developed. So if you ran with it or if you walked too hard, you could make the CD jiggle and it would stop playing.
That's why they didn't call it a Run Man.
They didn't call it a Run Man, exactly. Yeah. But I do remember later, I remember getting one that had a shock control, and if you flip that button on, you could do a fast walk, and it wouldn't skip so bad.
I'm a little bit surprised though that in your house there wasn't a stereo with a CD player, because that was that would have been the time.
I don't think so, but it could have also been we had one. I just wasn't allowed to touch it. One of those things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? They gave me an old cassette player, and then the nice stereo was for the adults.
I do recall that video very well, because actually, when did it come out?
That song came out in 1987. I don't know about the video. I'd assume somewhere
probably
around
at the
there,
same
right?
time, because
Yeah.
I would have been going to music school in California, and it was well done. It was a really cool song. David Coverdale was in Deep Purple. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah. So
No.
he left Deep Purple, and Richie Blackmore, who was a guitar player, left Deep Purple. You've heard of the band Rainbow?
No.
No? Well, there's an awesome song by Rainbow too. They were both pretty successful in their solo careers. And it seems like it was after the success of Whitesnake and Rainbow that I ended up going to see Deep Purple.
Oh, wow.
And it was at the Irvine Amphitheater. I think I mentioned this in an episode before.
Well, we've talked about Deep Purple before, so I think you did mention that you went and saw them. But this is cool. I didn't know that he was also in Deep Purple. I knew he was Whitesnake, dude, because he's got that, well, especially in Here I Go Again, he's got that high note that he hit.
Oh, yeah, he had a great voice.
Gosh.
Really powerful rock and roll voice.
Absolutely.
But they were awful in that concert.
Deep Purple.
And I read later, it was one of those things where I think they kind of threw it together to do this reunion tour, and it was almost as if they didn't put a lot of time and energy into rehearsing it, and there was some arguments on stage or whatever. But I definitely remember Tawny Kitaen, and there was another song too, I believe, from that same album, I'm sure, where she was featured on that. And how old was she when she died?
She was 59 when she died.
How did she die?
It didn't say. It didn't. That wasn't released. I mean, it's all still pretty fresh. Maybe it'll come out by the time this is released.
She can't have been that old.
No, 59 and...
Well, wait. Okay, you just said that.
It didn't...
Sorry.
Wait, hold on. Well, how old was she? She couldn't have been that old.
She couldn't have been that old. I think I had another thought going about she couldn't have been... Why? That is crazy, because that's close to my age. Why in the heck?
Well...
sadly, you never know.
And let's go ahead. Let's back up a little bit.
Let's back up.
So she really started her, correct me if I'm wrong, if you know this already, but kind of started her career because she followed the band Rat. She was in a lot of their music videos too, I think. And she even dated or something with a member of Rat. Anyways, that's how she got to Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And then, her first big, I guess, what do you want to call it, claim to fame was the Here I Go Again video. But then she went on to do more, her and David, what was his name again? I keep forgetting his last name.
Coverdale.
Coverdale. They ended up getting married.
Okay.
And then she was in other music videos for him as well. Let me pull that up, that information. So do you remember, Is This Love? She was in that video.
That's the one I was thinking of, yeah.
Still of the Night.
Oh, I kind of remember that too.
The Deeper the Love. And so they got married. She married Coverdale in 1989, but they later divorced in 91.
Okay, so who was this cracks me up that we're going so far on. I mean, we spent a little time talking about when we lost Eddie Van Halen, and here we are talking about the supermodel. No, maybe not more, but it's epic videos, so that's kind of interesting. But wasn't she also married to Mutt Lange?
Mutt Lange, I don't know about that one. Now she did. I know that she dated the dude from Rat later on, like 2002 or something.
How do you spell her name?
It would be Tawny, Tawny, Kitaen, or Kitaen, Kitaen.
Oh, okay.
So here's what's cool. Let me read a little excerpt, and this is from the Rolling Stone magazine, rollingstone.com. And this is just a little insight she recapped from an interview she did in 2020.
Okay.
She did an interview with the Hard Rock podcast, Ouch, You're on My Hair. And then she talked.
I was looking for a second. I thought you were talking to me.
Yeah, get off my hair.
Yeah, okay.
Kitaen, she talked about the Here I Go Again video and just how the impact that it had on in the scene in LA. And so she recalls a time because her and David were together at that point.
Yeah.
And so she recalls a time when her, Coverdale, and her father were driving around in LA, and they happened to be driving the white Jaguar that she was dancing around on.
Okay.
And Here I Go Again.
Yeah.
So here's what she said. She goes, David was driving the white Jag because that was our car. We got up toward the rainbow on the Sunset Strip, and there was a red light. People saw us in the car, and they jumped on the hood, Kitaen said. My dad was like, what's going on? How was that? Did I do good?
Yeah, that sounded just like her dad because I'm so familiar with his voice.
Yes.
What's going on?
She says, that's just how the world works. We had to shoo these people off our car and drive off. So that's her big claim to fame. And already after the release of that, just driving around LA, they had recognized the car, the girl, and of course, David, and jumped all over the car on the Sunset Strip.
Oh, so this was after the video, and then people wanted to jump on the car.
Yep. And the dad was like, oh my God, what's going on? And she's like, this is what you got to put up with when you're famous, Dad. You wouldn't know, but because I've been in a Whitesnake video, I know now.
And now my computer just died.
Oh no.
But that's okay because I did find out one little tidbit. I don't think it was Mutt Lange. That was another supermodel girl or whatever. Now I won't be able to look it up looking at my phone. But did you know that Tawny had an affair with Oj Simpson?
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. When he was married to Nicole.
Oh.
Who, we know all about that whole
we could
horrible
definitely
thing that happened,
speculate about that one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna look up that. Well, that's interesting. It's sad that somebody. It seemed like I had seen a picture of her somewhere, and she didn't look quite the same. And
lots of plastic surgery, I think.
Okay,
yeah. But in her later years. Now,
Gosh,
some people may not know her from the Whitesnake video. They may know Tawny from. She co-starred in the 1984 Tom Hanks comedy Bachelor Party.
Oh, yes. I recall that.
Yeah. And she scored a number of TV roles since then, or from that. The series like Married with Children and Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. In Seinfeld, she was Jerry's girlfriend in the episode The Nose Job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But really, I mean, her fame was appearing in a lot of these 80s music videos. She was the pretty model that would dance around. And it's funny, a lot of Whitesnake's videos around that time, she, like we talked about, she was in a lot of them. And they're all about the same. Bands playing on stage, and then it pans to pretty girl dancing. Or pans to David and her kind of having this argument and stuff like that. So all these music, of course, it's the 80s, but all these music videos pretty much are the same. You got the rock bands playing in one scene, and then the pretty girl in the next with the fancy car.
That was there. Obviously, there was other videos featuring hot models and such, but that was, I believe, at the time, Well, it's interesting too, because it's almost like when you talk about a song, well, was it the lyrics or was it the music? And then if you think about the video, was it the song or was it Tawny looking so hot in the video?
Right.
And maybe it was a balance of both.
I was going to say, I feel like for Here I Go Again, excuse me, I feel like for that song, it was a combination of all of it. And I think as a young boy, that's what impacted me is, okay, now you got this pretty girl, you got these big guitars, you got the crazy solo, and then you got the dude that can sing, and then you got the music video where they're on the stage. It's the 80s rock, man. That's
would
all
you
I can
have
say.
been a big fan of Whitesnake and the song Is It Love if you had not seen
If I had not seen Tawny?
Tawny?
Absolutely. I loved Whitesnake.
Good.
You know what I mean? So here's my question. Not the only reason I brought this up.
One quick thing I have to
Okay.
mention because I did find it. Shania Twain and Mutt Lange.
really?
And they sound kind of like Tawny Kitaen, Shania Twain.
Okay.
So there you go.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Mutt was married to her. She's still alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mutt Lange's still producing a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. I love Mutt Lange. Not to get off on a tangent or on a rabbit hole here, but Mutt Lange and his work with AC/DC,
Oh, yeah.
those were the best albums. He did Back in Black. I think he did Thunderstruck. He did a lot of them.
He did.
That's when I think of Mutt Lange, I really think about his hard rock stuff. He did a lot of things that just, I don't know.
I think he's one of those where if we discussed him sometime in the show, you would realize that there's a lot of stuff that you probably were drawn to and maybe didn't know why. And then if you look at it, it's like, oh, Mutt Lange produced it.
Produced by Mutt Lange. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
he was able to bring out the best. Certainly. He was brilliant. I love that stuff with that.
So my question,
your point.
my whole
What's
point.
your point? I mean, it's sad. She's no longer with us.
She's no longer
but-
with us. Yes.
Okay. So
Is
other than-
there? And I know you were kind of into music and on the scene before MTV was huge in music videos. But do you recall a music video that impacted you as much as like I said with Whitesnake's Here I Go Again and Tawny? Is there one that impacted you as much?
Do I have to answer this question?
You don't have to, but I think it'd be a great way to wrap it up. What do you think?
Jarrett, I'm so tired. Actually, one did. Well, it's kind of interesting because before you brought this up, I mentioned Susanna Hoffs.
Okay, you're right.
So, I mean, I'm just going with there's a cute girl.
Cute girl in the video, but it's a cool song.
But
The video, what is it?
yeah, there was a video. And are you familiar with Wham?
No.
You're not?
Maybe I am.
Okay.
Like I said, I know songs better than I knew the bands.
George Michael.
George Michael, yeah.
Okay, so he was in Wham.
Okay.
I wish I could think of the movie. There was sort of a parody, and it was a movie that had Hugh. What's Hugh's name? The actor.
Hugh Hefner?
No, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I think it's Hugh Grant. But anyway, it was funny because they sort of played on this pretty boy partner band where they break up. But that's kind of what happened with Wham. But anyway, the song I'm thinking of is I Will Be Your Father Figure.
Okay.
And it's actually a cool song. And actually, I really liked George Michael's voice. I will admit
Great
that.
voice, yeah.
And I always, for some reason, there was something about the songs, whether it was with Wham. I do have that right, don't I?
You do.
Did look it up?
Wham.
Wham.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Wham. Just
Wham.
to give some info. English pop duo consisting of George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley.
See, people can't even remember this other dude's name.
Yeah, because it was George Michael. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the other guy didn't have a huge solo career, and George did. But
Formed
I
in
always found
1981.
okay, yeah, that would have been about right, about the same time too. But there was in that song there was a girl, and I don't know if she was featured in a lot of different videos, but very striking and drew your attention to that song.
Sure.
It was a video that was, I think, filmed in black and white or something like that. But there was something about when those songs, for me, and I can't think, it might have been that one or it was another George Michael song, that there was always weird little harmonies I would find to sing with him that weren't in the song.
Yeah.
And it happened on at least two of those songs. I don't know why. I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. So.
No, that's
you go.
cool. Well, and I've always paid you the compliment. I feel like you have such a good ear for harmony, so that's cool.
Especially if there's a really cute girl in the video, then I can sing a harmony really good. Yeah, thank you very much.
Tanya Harcourt Kuzo?
Is that who is in the video? Did
She
you
starred
find that
opposite
out?
the singer George Michael in the video for father figure, inspired by.
Do you have a
Newton.
picture of her?
I bet I could pull one up.
Now I'm like sounding.
There you go.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's her.
Sure, I
There
get
you
it.
go.
George Michael, yeah. I mean, he was such a. I mean, gosh, everybody loved George Michael.
So she didn't die, did she? I'm just kidding. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Like these two girls died. Shame to or something.
Be the 27 Club all over again.
Yeah,
No, it looks
yeah.
like she's still alive.
But that's kind of funny because her name is Tanaya.
Tanya. It'd be Tanya.
And it's Tawny and that's
Tawny
pretty
and Tanya.
weird.
That is. Ooh.
Is that not a little bizarre? Because folks, we didn't plan that, and
We
that's
didn't
not like the
plan
most
that.
epic.
Now, not to burst your bubble, I don't
synchronicity in the
think
world, but-
Tawny's real name is Tawny. Let me find.
But still,
Right, no, but
Tanaya,
still.
Tanaya,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Tawny, and then Shania. What is this whole thing going on today with these girls' names?
It's that word, dude.
It's like
Synchronicities.
masticate,
Tawny's
decorate.
her name was Julie Kitaen. So Kitan's her last name, but Julie E. Kitaen, Tawny.
Okay.
Born August 5th, 1961. Died May 7th, 2021. Rest in peace, Tawny. You did a lot for 80s music and Whitesnake, and it was awesome.
There you go, folks.
Rest in
You
peace.
cannot get this information anywhere else but outside the mic.
As we're reading off the Wikipedia and the Rolling Stone article.
These kind of conversations just don't happen as you're walking down the street. I just want you to know, and I hope you
Let's
appreciate
hope not, or you need to find a new street to walk.
that. Let's hope not.
That's what we got here on Outside the Mic. Thank you for listening. Make sure you check us out on OutsideTheMic.com. Again, for all those just listening, we are a podcast that banters all matters music.
We are, and mostly. That's why we say mostly, because sometimes it's not about music, but it's music related.
Sometimes it's
at
about the
least,
girl
so.
in the music video.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine. It all
Thank
comes
y'all.
together.
Thank y'all for listening. We appreciate you, outsiders. Have a good one.